on, everyone? 2016 is just about over because it is in fact New Year's Eve today, and this is the video you all have been waiting for a long time, and that is my top 10 movies of 2016. I just made my video for my top 10 movies of 2015 a few days ago, so if you have not seen that yet, go check it out. I just made it. But this is in fact my top 10 movies of 2016 video, and for 2016, I feel like this year has been one of the worst movie years we have had in a long time. There have been some very good movies here and there, but overall I'd say this year was really disappointing, especially considering I feel like the Oscar movies that came out this year weren't really as strong as we had in, say, 2015 or 14. Also, this year was not really deep with the movies we had. Last year we had a really stacked year, but this year it was not stacked at all. This year was very thin, I'd say. And also the movies that came out this year were all kind of weird. They didn't really have a gimmick. They all were just plain movies, all simple, nothing too special about them. Whereas last year we had a lot of gimmicks, such as Mad Max, an old apocalypse movie. Also we had The Revenant, which is an 1800s movie during the fur trade, which was really cool. Then of course we had Star Wars Episode 7 that came out. We had a movie about an AI. We had an old Western movie. We had a movie about the war on drugs. So many great movies came out last year that had gimmicks. This year, a bunch of movies came out that were just plain. There were a lot of good ones, but nothing was too spectacular. I do in fact have my list though for my top 10 movies this year. Even though I wouldn't say they were the strongest movies of all time, I'd still say they are all a very good time to watch, and that's why they're all on my top 10 list. Of course, I have my honorable mentions as I had in my last video. So to begin, I will start reading them off. My honorable mentions are 13 Hours, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, The Accountant, The Magnificent Seven, and Star Trek Beyond. All of those movies were extremely fun. I enjoyed them all very much. I think they all were very well deserving of being on my list, but they just did not make this list, unfortunately, because I feel like there were 10 better movies for me personally. To begin the list at number 10, I have decided to go with Finding Dory. This year, I think, was a really strong animated year. Finding Dory, for me, though, I'd say was my favorite animated movie that came out this entire year. We, of course, had Zootopia, Kubo and the Two Strings. Moana, I did not see Moana, but I would still say that if I did see it, I'd say Finding Dory would still be better for me. So Finding Dory is on this list because Pixar is amazing. Finding Dory, I was really surprised by this movie. I thought it was going to be a box office bomb. I thought it was not going to be too good, but this one was really good, actually. I thought it was going to be like a repeat of Finding Nemo, but in fact it was a new story and following Dory, of course. I thought it was extremely fun, definitely underrated compared to the other animated movies. People were kind of shoving this movie to the side, but I felt like this movie was extremely strong. One of the better Pixar movies we've had over the last several years, and I think Finding Dory is one of the better ones of this year. At number 9, Captain America Civil War. This one may come as a surprise to many of you, but I do think this is actually one of the best movies that we had all year. In fact, for this spot, I was thinking between Rogue One and this movie, but I ultimately had to go with this one. I feel like this one had a stronger plot overall and was just a better movie overall too. I love the conflict between the two sides. Of course, you have Captain America's side. You also have Tony Stark's side, Iron Man. A really good conflict there between the two sides. Also, we had the introduction to Spider-Man and Black Panther. I thought the movie overall was really good. I liked the new characters they had. A very good Captain America movie, and also it felt like an Avengers movie, but I think it's a lot better than the Avengers movies. I do think this is one of the best Marvel Cinematic Universe movies we've had so far, just because of that great conflict we had in this movie. And also, it was a different kind of plot than what we're used to seeing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. Not a real strong villain, just a focus on these two sides conflicting with each other, and I love that. At number 8, Hell or High Water. A movie I saw back in September, if you guys remember. And this movie, honestly, was not surprising. I do think it could have been a little bit better. Jeff Bridges was really funny as the sheriff in this movie. Ben Foster, Chris Pine were absolutely incredible in this movie. My goodness, I love them in this movie. It could have been a little bit longer, but the third act was extremely strong and floored me from that scene onward, and that's why I think Hell or High Water deserves to be the 8th spot on this list. At number 7, Arrival. This is one of the more ambiguous movies on this list. As I said in my review, Amy Adams, Jeremy Renner, Forrest Whitaker were all very good as well in this movie. I liked the whole connection between the humans and aliens. A very good connection there. Also very good acting, of course. And I like the ambiguity to this movie. I felt like there was a strong presence there and a deeper meaning to the movie. I think Arrival had a lot of those deeper meanings there, and it was a really well-made film, especially by director Denis Villeneuve. He's a very good director. As I said for Sicario last year, Arrival was another very strong movie by that director. Very good directing for this film. At number 6, Sully. Sully is a movie that people do not have on their top 10 list, and that's understandable. I guess it's not the greatest movie of the year, but I do think it's a very fun movie and a very good movie. Tom Hanks is, of course, amazing as usual. This is his best movie this year. Of course, if you saw Inferno, that movie sucked. This movie was very good, very thrilling. The plane scene was incredible. I liked the build-up. I liked how the media was attacking Sully for what he did landing in the Hudson. I thought that was a really interesting story, and also this is a movie I will watch many more times because it is very rewatchable. At number 5, The Jungle Book. The Jungle Book is actually the only movie on this list that I did not review for you guys this year, but I did in fact see it back in April, and this movie was very, very exciting, entertaining, and blew me away. I thought it was just going to be another random Disney movie, but my goodness, this movie was great. I was happy they remade it into a real-life action movie. I thought that they did a really good job in retelling the story. The visuals in this movie were absolutely amazing. And of course, we had some great performances. Ben Kingsley as Bagheera. And the person that stole the show from me was, in fact, Idris Elba as Shere Khan. He was amazing in this movie. My favorite performance in the entire movie, him as the villain, was absolutely incredible. I love The Jungle Book this year. I thought it was a great Disney movie. Maybe the best Disney movie we had this entire year. At number 4, Manchester by the Sea. Casey Affleck, as we know, is amazing in this movie. Michelle Williams is amazing. Pretty much everybody in this movie is really good, and that's probably the strongest part of this movie. The performances are extremely realistic, and this movie is very realistic and relatable. That's what I said. This movie, to me, is extremely relatable. That's why I loved it so much. Very realistic. In this movie, you also feel like you're there with these characters during these problems that they go through. A very emotional movie, too, and intense. I love Manchester by the Sea. If you watch it, you'll understand how extremely realistic and relatable it is, and probably the most realistic movie we had this entire year. At number 3, Moonlight. Moonlight is one hell of an artsy movie. That's what I said. You could tell this camera work is very well done. I loved Barry Jenkins' direction in the movie. The cinematography is gorgeous. The color scheme is also very gorgeous to look at. There are a lot of deeper meanings behind all these elements in the film. The performances in this movie are really, really good. And Moonlight was a movie that just hit me really hard to the soul. And Moonlight is one movie that I think I'll watch over and over again, even though it is a little tough to watch at times. Okay, guys, and these are the 2 movies that I had trouble choosing between 1 and 2. But nonetheless, at number 2, La La Land. La La Land was a great musical. I'm not a guy that likes musicals, but this movie, the musical, was incredible. Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone were great. They are very talented in this movie. All the tunes in this movie were really good. I love the tunes, especially that whistling tune. Extremely good, and everything about this movie was really well made. I think La La Land was extremely fun. It is my prediction to win Best Picture this year, and they took their time making this into one of the best musicals I think we've ever had. Definitely check out La La Land if you have not seen it yet. And finally, you guys probably know what this movie is, but nonetheless, at number 1, we have Hacksaw Ridge. Oh man, Hacksaw Ridge. Did I ever think this movie would be number 1? No, but now I know. This movie was amazing. First of all, Andrew Garfield was great as this character. I loved him, as well as Teresa Palmer as his wife. They were both great. Their chemistry was incredible. But what I really liked was how the beginning of this movie was not all about the war. It was more about the trial that he was facing, Andrew Garfield's character, for not wanting to carry a gun, and I love that part. It was not strictly a war-driven movie. The first act is more about a trial against this man, and you really feel for Andrew Garfield and his character. I love that part of the movie. But my favorite part of the movie is, of course, the ending with all these action battle scenes, and these were such well shot scenes. Oh my goodness. Mel Gibson is a great director and he knows how to film war scenes. These are some of the most well shot war scenes I've ever seen. A lot of slow motion, of course, but really realistic, gritty war scenes we have here. Those scenes made me feel like I was in the battle myself. They were really intense. And I felt for every single person on our side for those scenes. They were incredible scenes, very well filmmaking. I was extremely emotional during this movie. It is easily my favorite movie of 2016. I don't think anything I saw this year beat this one out. This movie affected me very emotionally, and I loved Hacksaw Ridge from beginning to end. It is honestly one of the best movies I know to this day. Well guys, that's my list for my top 10 movies of 2016. It was very fun being your YouTuber for this year, Spence Solely. I loved it. It was very enjoyable. I am just ecstatic that I got to see all these movies for you guys this year, and very grateful that a lot of you have watched my videos, so thank you very much. I hope to continue doing this in 2017. It's also unfortunate I did not get to see the movie Silence or Patriots Day or Gold. I think those all could have been on this list. Especially Silence, I think that could have been #1, but that's unfortunate. I will see that movie though, hopefully this month. Expect a lot of reviews to come out in January, February, and onward throughout 2017, 2018, wherever. I will continue making reviews for as long as I'm around, trust me. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you all had a great 2016, and I cannot wait to see you guys in 2017. Expect my next video to be my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2017. That should be coming out in a couple days, so I'll see you guys then. Thank you all so much for watching my videos in 2016. I hope you all have a great New Year's Eve, and also have a fantastic day.